That's probably a question many people ask when looking up at the night sky. When looking up at the sky, surely many of us are overwhelmed by its strange and wondrous beauty. We are truly tiny compared to the vast expanse of the universe. It makes us start to question our own existence. Who am I? Where is this? Why am I here? What did I come to this earth to do? And also the existence of the universe. Where did the universe originate? Is it true that everything came from nothingness? And aliens are no exception. Are we truly alone in this universe? And where are the aliens? Elon Musk once said there's a 99.999% chance we are living in a simulated world. Let's explore all those questions in today. Gi and me go. Now, let's do some calculations.
According to what astronomers have observed, the total number of galaxies in this universe is nearly equal to the number of stars in our Milky Way galaxy, which is about 100 to 400 billion.
In other words, for every star in this magnificent galaxy, there is a corresponding galaxy out there.
To summarize, the total number of stars in this universe is roughly from 10 to the power of 22 to 10 to the power of 24 stars. If you can't imagine how huge this number is, try to picture this. For every grain of sand on all the beaches on Earth, there are about 10,000 corresponding stars out there. The scientific community still hasn't fully agreed on the percentage of stars similar to our Sun.
Most studies typically determine it to be between 5% and 20%.
Assuming, from the most conservative perspective, taking the smallest ratio of 5%, along with the lower bound total star count of 10 to the power of 22, we get about 500 quintillion Sun-like stars.
Additionally, there is research on the percentage of these Sun-like stars that could be orbited by an Earth-like planet. According to a recent study by PNAS, this ratio is as high as 22%.
Meaning about 1% of the stars in the universe are orbited by a life-bearing planet similar to Earth. In other words, there are about 100 quintillion Earth-like planets in the universe.
Now imagine, 1% of those Earth-like planets have developed intelligence similar to what happened on Earth.
That means we have about 10 quadrillion intelligent civilizations in the observable universe. Looking back at our own galaxy, there would be about 1 billion Earth-like planets and 100,000 intelligent civilizations in our galaxy. SETI is an organization dedicated to listening for signals from other intelligent life. It is true that there are at least 100,000 intelligent civilizations in our galaxy,
and even if only a small fraction of them send out radio waves, laser beams, or similar signals trying to communicate with other civilizations. SETI. But no, we haven't heard anything at all, not a single signal. So, where have all the aliens gone? Even more bizarre, since our sun is relatively young compared to the age of the universe, there should be civilizations far more advanced than us. Let's compare our 4.54 billion-year-old Earth with a hypothetical planet, Let. If Planet X has a story similar to Earth's, look at how their civilization has advanced compared to us today. The technology and knowledge of a civilization just 1,000 years ahead of us would be enough to amaze us, and our world compared to theirs would be like the Middle Ages compared to modern times. A civilization 1 million years ahead of us would become incomprehensible to us, akin to comparing human culture to that of chimpanzees.
And what about a civilization 3.4 billion years ahead of us? There's something called the Kardashev scale, which helps us classify intelligent civilizations into 3 major types based on the energy they use. First is a Type 1 civilization, capable of using all the energy resources of its home planet.
Our civilization cannot yet be called a Type 1 civilization, but we're getting close. Kardashev created a formula for this scale, and according to it,
We are a Type 0.7 civilization.
Second is a Type 2 civilization, capable of harnessing all the energy of its host star. Our weak Type 1 brains can hardly imagine how they would do this. Still using all our imagination, we can only picture something like a Dyson sphere. Third is a Type 3 civilization, completely surpassing the other two.
Because the energy source they can access has reached a level of an entire galaxy. If this level of advancement sounds unbelievable, remember the planet X mentioned earlier, which is 3.4 billion years ahead of us.
If a civilization on planet X has intelligent life like us and somehow managed to survive all the way to Type 3, then obviously they could have mastered interstellar travel by now, and might even have colonized the entire galaxy.
One hypothesis for colonizing the galaxy is to create machines capable of traveling to other planets.
Spend 500 years self-replicating using raw materials on a new planet,
And then send out two copies to repeat the same process. Even if the technology at that time cannot yet achieve speeds close to the speed of light, this process would still colonize the entire galaxy in just 3.75 billion years, a blink of an eye compared to the billion-year scale. Continuing with speculation, suppose 1% of intelligent life exists long enough to become a Type 3 civilization, capable of colonizing the entire galaxy based on the calculations above, then there are at least 1,000 Type 3 civilizations.
just in our galaxy alone. And with the resources of such a galaxy, shouldn't we clearly notice their presence? Yet, we see nothing, hear nothing, and no one has ever visited us. So, where are they all? To answer that question, we have the Fermi paradox. You know, when we hear stories about people in the past, about their debates on whether the Earth is round or if the sun revolves around the Earth, or thinking that diseases were caused by evil spirits.
We in the present seem really foolish, don't we? We, at this moment, are the same by discussing this topic.
Below are the most convincing answers to the question of where the aliens are. The first possibility is that super intelligent life likely visited Earth, but before we were here. In the grand scheme, humans have only developed consciousness about 50,000 years ago. This is a brief moment compared to the universe's timeline. If contact happened then, it would only startle a few ducks, making them scramble into the water, that's all. Going further, we only began recording history about 5,500 years ago. A group of hunter-gatherer tribes from prehistoric times might have encountered some crazy, evil aliens. But they had no way to tell their future descendants about it.
And the second possibility, the galaxy has been colonized, or we live in a remote, desolate region of the galaxy. The Americas might have been colonized by Europeans long before the Inuit, a small tribe in a remote northern part of Canada, realized it.
There might be an urbanized metropolitan area, home to more advanced species, whereby all neighboring solar systems have been colonized and have interconnected traffic. But no one is free to come here to socialize with us, they have no reason to do so.
The third possibility is that the entire concept of physical colonization seems laughable and backward to more advanced species. Do you remember the image of a Type 2 civilization with a sphere surrounding its host star mentioned above?
With such abundant energy, they could create a perfect environment for themselves, satisfying all their needs. And there's no need to leave their pleasurable heavenly realm to explore the cold, empty, underdeveloped universe.
A more advanced civilization might view the entire physical world as a primitive, terrifying place. And long ago, they found a way to transcend their biological bodies and uploaded their brains into a virtual reality, an eternal paradise.
Living in a physical world, with things like psychology, death, needs, and desires. To them is no different from our perspective of ancient marine creatures living in cold, dark seas.
The fourth possibility is that there are terrifying predatory civilizations out there, and most intelligent life knows that.
It's best not to send out any signals and reveal their location. This is not a pleasant notion at all, although it helps explain why the SETI satellite radio system hasn't caught any signals. And this means we would be incredibly naive, foolish, and reckless. To an unbelievable degree if we were to send signals outward. There is an ongoing debate about whether we should send messages to extraterrestrial intelligent life. And most people think we shouldn't. Stephen Hawking warned that if aliens visit us, the result would be like when Columbus landed in America, which didn't turn out well for the Native Americans. Even Carl Sagan, who believed any civilization advanced enough for interstellar travel would be benevolent, not hostile, also thought sending messages into space was unwise and extremely immature.
He also advised that newborn children, so unfamiliar and ignorant of the universe, should remain quiet and listen for a long time, patiently learning about the universe, analyzing any traces found.
Do you know what?
The fifth possibility is that there is only one supreme intelligent life entity.
A super predatory civilization,
like humans on Earth, has developed far beyond all other civilizations,
and maintains dominance by destroying any intelligent civilization that crosses a certain threshold. Horrifyingly, its method might be to inefficiently use resources to eliminate all emerging intelligent life. Or perhaps most of us die out on our own.
But after surpassing a certain threshold, the superspecies will begin to act.
Because to them, an emerging intelligent species becomes like a virus starting to develop and multiply. This theory suggests that whoever is at the top of the intelligence level will be the winner,
and will not get anyone else this opportunity. This explains the lack of activities out there, because it would keep the number of super intelligent civilizations always at one.
The sixth possibility is that there are many stable activities out there, but our technologies are too outdated and we are listening incorrectly.
Like when entering a modern office building and turning on a walkie-talkie, you would hear nothing. Of course you would hear nothing, because everyone uses messaging to communicate with each other. No one uses walkie-talkies, and then you cannot conclude that there is no one in this building.
Or as recent studies have shown, it could be that our minds operate exponentially faster or slower than another form of intelligence out there.
For example, it might take them 12 years to say hello.
And when we intercept this conversation, it would sound like mere noise to us. The seventh possibility is that
Extraterrestrial life is currently communicating with us, but the government is hiding this.
The more I learn about this topic, the more convincing it seems, but we cannot know because it is top secret.
The eighth possibility is that advanced civilizations acknowledge our existence and are currently observing us, also known as the zoo hypothesis. As far as we know, super intelligent civilizations might exist in a universe strictly managed, and our Earth is considered part of a vast national park, protected with strict regulations. Look, but do not touch the artifacts for planets like Mars.
We cannot recognize them because if a more intelligent species wants to observe us, they would easily know how to avoid being detected by us.
There might be a law similar to the Prime Directive in Star Trek, prohibiting super-intelligent species from establishing any diplomatic bridge or revealing themselves in any way to lower species like us, until the lower species have reached a certain level of intelligence.
The ninth possibility is that advanced civilizations are already here,
around us, but our perceptions are too primitive to recognize them.
Michio Kaku summarizes it like this. Suppose we have an anthill, and right next to it, they are building a 10-lane highway. And the question is, can the ants understand what a 10-lane highway is?
Can the ants understand the technology, as well as the intentions of another species building a highway right next to them?
So, it's not that we cannot receive signals from intelligent beings with our technology, but we cannot even comprehend what intelligent beings are, or what they are trying to do. They are far beyond us. Therefore, even if they are trying to enlighten us, it would be like trying to teach ants about the internet. Along these lines, this could also be the answer to the question. Yes, if there are many magnificent level 3 civilizations out there, why haven't they contacted us yet? To answer that question, ask yourself, when Pizarro explored Peru, did he stop for a moment at an anthill to try to communicate with them? Was he a benevolent person, trying to help the ants in the anthill? Did he become malicious and slow down his mission just to destroy an anthill? Or was the anthill completely irrelevant to Pizarro? That might be our current situation.
And the 10th possibility is that we are completely mistaken about our reality. There are many explanations suggesting that the universe is completely different from what we think. The universe might exist in a completely different form,
but all we see is just a three-dimensional projection of it. Or perhaps we are extraterrestrial beings and we are cultivated here as an experiment or some kind of fertilizer. Maybe we are currently living in a simulated world in a computer of a researcher in another world. And simple life forms are simply not programmed into this simulation.
This is also Elon Musk's assertion that there is a 99.999% chance we are living in a simulated world.
While the search for extraterrestrial life continues, we might be wasting our efforts. I really don't know which side to take.
Frankly speaking, better we find out that we are officially alone in this universe,
or have to join others as in the fairy tales mentioned above. Either way, they're equally terrifying. Beyond the thrilling science fiction stories, the Fermi paradox also makes me more humble.
Not in the sense that we are just microorganisms existing for a brief 3 seconds, but humble in the way the universe operates.
The Fermi paradox brings a deeper sense of humility, which can only happen after spending hours studying,
listening to humanity's most famous scientists,
presenting crazy theories,
changing their minds over and over, and contradicting each other intensely,
reminding us that future generations will look at us the way we look at the ancients,
who were once certain that the star tower was sat on the underside of a celestial sphere.
And they will think, wow, they had no idea what was really going on. All discussions about level 2 and 3 civilizations make us reflect on the power and self-esteem of humanity. Right here on Earth, we consider ourselves masters of a tiny territory, proudly dominating countless other species that share the planet with us.
Living in this small pond, where there is almost no competition, we rarely have to face the thought that we are an inferior species. But after spending much time learning about level 2 and 3 civilizations, I feel like a frog in the bottom of a well.
This shows that, in fact, we are nothing special.
We are just like a lonely child abandoned on a small rock in a vast, desolate universe.
And in reality, we are not as smart as we think. The things we are always certain about are sometimes completely wrong. Gently open that door. It is very likely that there are still many things waiting for us to discover. In your opinion,
among the possibilities above, which one is the most reasonable? Please share your thoughts in the comment section.
And now,
goodbye and see you again.